did not mean to hit that button.
That's all right.
Look at that. That was I was like, wow, I got a good one. Good intro there.
Peyton set that so as soon as you log on, it does that every time. You log on and back on, off and back on.
Yeah, there you go.
So Mike's got some snow. Mason, you got any snow right now?
It just started coming down. Yeah, it just started coming down. I just told Natalie that when I came downstairs. The snow is coming. I think we're supposed to get up to 2 inches.
We got some sleet today, but
it's been raining all week.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah. So, are you coming back from a practice, or did you have a tournament or a duel, or what did you have?
No, we have a match tomorrow, a tournament tomorrow. It's gonna be tough.
What was the? Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess I gotta look at this. I gotta change my headline here. Mike Brant.
You like that?
Look at that.
Oh man!
Boom!
Oh, sweet.
There we go, class 2013. I guess I got to change mine too, but I've been keeping the theme with the NWE Connect. I don't know if
that's fun. You want us to put that?
No. I like what you guys got. Let's see if
yeah, we got a tough one tomorrow. Connellsville PA's there.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Franklin Regional PA's there.
Also good.
Trinity PA, and a bunch of West Virginia teams, some Ohio teams. It's gonna be good.
What's the tournament?
It's a Nurse Pro something. It's University High School hosted in Morgantown.
Connellsville's good.
They
won state title like 6 years ago, I think.
What's that, Mike?
Connellsville. They won the PA state title like 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, they won the Whippia last year.
Yeah.
But Peyton, you said when's Beast? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No idea. It might be this weekend. Powerade's next weekend.
Okay.
That's when we're doing our tournament. So we don't get some of the good teams from West Virginia because they're all going to that.
And you are at your high school that you like graduated from.
Oh yeah.
So do they love you there? You got a statue out front and everything, or what? Like
No. I mean, they love me. Yeah,
it's singlets up in the rafters.
It's good. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, we have a pretty young team, so that's even better.
The gym's named after you. Oh, come on.
Right.
No,
the wrestling room.
No.
So Mason Bailey.
The Mason Bailey.
I don't need that. I don't need that stuff. It's cool. It's cool to be back. Very different. It's different, awesome. Like going back, and it's even harder when you're, at the academy with all the guys there that were like us that are there and wrestling, and that's pretty much all we thought about.
Right.
So it's interesting going back to the high school, and your head's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So you say you got a young team, like a lot of first year wrestlers, or
no, actually, I think I have one first year wrestler. I have one that wrestled like when he was young, 1 year, and then this is his second year, but handful of second years. Last year was our first year, and then like our state champ from last year as a junior this year. We have a runner up. It's a sophomore this year.
Okay.
So yeah. The majority of our team are sophomores. Actually, we have like, I don't know, 8 sophomores or something.
Now, do any of them you feel like have aspirations to take it to the next level, or? Yeah.
Definitely the one that won states last year, definitely, and there are some others too. So we're starting that process now. I mean, with everything now, and then did Carrie talk about the JUCO thing at all in the last day?
No.
So they just made that ruling yesterday or today that your years in JUCO don't count. You still have your eligibility.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if that's all sports. I know it's football because there are a bunch of people talking about how JUCO is going to be the way you redshirt, but I'd imagine it's every sport.
Well, there are teams like Cornell off the top of my head does, because they're Ivy League. Like Ivy Leagues don't have red shirts,
Right.
but they have that like Spartan combat.
Well, they go to Ithaca College, some of them too.
Yeah. So is that kind of like what you're talking about, or
no? Like this is. I mean, they can go and win a JUCO national championship and still have 4 years to compete at D1. So you legit could. I mean, I don't know. Do they wrestle like I don't even know what they wrestle.
I don't know.
AIA maybe.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I couldn't name a junior. I don't.
Well, I can only name football ones. Yeah, but I would imagine that especially some of the more wealthier colleges, sending kids to a junior college and getting them a redshirt year or two, getting them college competition, because I'd imagine you can still wrestle in opens and all that stuff.
For sure.
And then so it'll be interesting. I don't necessarily agree with
on the flip side of that, because I have heard Colette talk about like going to less opens next year or whatever, just because there's so many high school kids that go to them now, or red shirts or gray shirts, or I guess JUCO kids now, and those wins or those matches don't go towards RPI. So it's like you could go wrestle 8 matches in a weekend and like only have 2 on your record or whatever.
Right.
So it just kind of did the RPI. That screws you. So
if what you're saying is true, and I'm sure it is, because we haven't talked about it, but
that up there it's not. It's not a. I mean. It would be helpful.
No.
I mean, that probably.
No, I think it's huge, because then it's another pool of people to recruit from. Well, you could get an 18, or 20-year-old kid, who's developed a little bit.
Yeah.
Or kids that may not be able to get into the Naval Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Send them to JUCO, let them get their grades up.
Yeah.
Isn't Anne Arundel County? Yeah, the Anne Arundel County Community College. That's a junior college.
Is it? I thought it was just like a community. Is there a difference between community college and junior?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it could be a good way for you guys to get somebody into the. Yeah. I mean, get somebody that may want to go there, still wrestle with the RTC and. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good recruitment
I don't know.
tool too.
I know it's brand new, so people, you guys wrestle tomorrow. So not really focused on.
That. Well, no. I mean, no, it's always relevant. Actually I joked about it with Carrie, like, as an athlete and a guy that was not recruited, like I was ignorant to the whole process. And so I just assumed that, like, okay, hey, spring and summer, like we're hitting the road, we're talking to kids, but it's like nonstop, Barry, Ty, Blaze, like these guys and him are like constantly on the phone and like talking to people, going to see, like, I'm pretty sure Barry drove up to like visit some kid at their club practice today, like after our practice.
Wow.
And we have a duel tomorrow. So it's like, it's just nonstop. And yeah, so these guys, yeah. And so, sorry, I got to circle back. I mentioned that to Carrie, and he was like, no, dude, like it's full time, man. Like there's no off season.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, you're helping out with wrestling now too. Like you're not.
Yeah. K through 5.
How'd you get into that?
So I was walking the dog in the woods, and I had like a Navy wrestling T-shirt on, and I came across 2 guys that were hiking with their kids, and they were 2 of the coaches at the elementary program. And they're like, oh, like we have a small town, like the graduating classes are like 150 kids ish, so like not like a massive town.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, did you wrestle like in college or whatever? Like, yeah, like he's like I'm Coach Wally, like I'm Coach Storms, like we coach the elementary program. You should like help out if you like have time for it. And then like that was like back in the spring last year, and so I was like, man, I told Meg, like, and I work a lot, but I was like, I'm gonna try to make time to do this like at least once a week, and just go be on the mat and help out and whatever. So I like started going, and then Nora, my daughter who's in kindergarten, she's like, well, I want to go. So like now she's going. And like they have it split up. There's 100 from K through 5. There's 113 kids, I think, and like 25 girls. So like it's a big program.
Seriously, 25 girls.
It's amazing. They do a really good job. And so like my daughter goes, they have to split up in 2 different practices. So she does the first one on Tuesdays. I leave work a little early and go coach both of them. But like sometimes she'll stick around and do the older kids practice too. And sometimes she's like, nah, I don't want to do it. I just want to play in the gym. And I'm trying not to be like the crazy wrestling dad. I'm like, but you can get an extra practice in right now. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Go play with that or like random tennis ball you guys found under the bleachers. And like, you guys going to coach and help these kids out. But it's been really awesome. It's been so great to be back on the mat and hang out with, you know, like-minded people. And it's a really good program. There's 2, 3, 4, I think 5 guys there's like 13 volunteer coaches. 5 of them have college experience. So Jeff Marsh, who runs a club in the next town over, wrestled in Michigan. And then there's a guy named Greg Francesca who wrestled at UVA in like the 90s. And then 2 guys that wrestled D3, Colin Nagy, who wrestled at Wilkes, and a guy named Frank Pepe, who wrestled at Mifflinburg. So like the staff's like unbelievable for like this random elementary program. Like I was like blown away and it's like, it's funny. I just happened to run into these guys in the woods, like, you know, 3 miles into the woods, like walking the dog. So I mean, we live like in a pretty wooded area. Like we have black bear in like our backyard all the time and stuff. So like, it was so funny. They were like, yeah, you should help out. Like, all right.
Yeah. And it sounds like, like you got a good group of dudes to do it with.
Awesome. They're so good. Like, you know, I know a little bit about wrestling, but like, as far as like managing kids that are K through 5, and you're like, come on, man, like focus. Like it's hard to get those kids sometimes to focus. And like, they're so good at like, you know, 110 kids, like, all right, everyone, like, be quiet, listen. I'm like, hey, like, listen. They're like, that won't work, dude. Like, I'm like, okay, like, so I'm learning a lot too on like we worked on like arm drags and double legs, but then they're like, don't worry about the penetration step, like they're too young and they're not gonna be able to do it. And I'm like, okay, so it's just like outside step and like double leg, like, so it's a learning experience, but it's really cool.
It's funny too, like, I'm sure coaching at that level too, like it's gotta, like, you just have to be so, like, what you say matters and how you say it matters so much more than when you're working with high school and like college kids, because like the way that they process the information is so much different. The only reason I realize this is because 1, I know I couldn't do it, and 2, like when I watch the Navy juniors guys sometimes at night, because I've brought Axel sometimes to it and he loves it, but I just, you know, being there all day and then going back and forth is too much. But the coaches there, kind of similar to what you're saying, is like just have found this way to like corral the kids and organize. Totally. You know, 80 plus, you know, 6-year-olds.
Right. It's absolutely wild. They like, I was talking to Jeff Marsh, and he was like, I actually like sometimes watch videos of like really good kindergarten teachers and like techniques they use to like get the class to focus. Like he does like, he's like, all right, everyone, waterfall, and all the kids like know to like look in and like make a waterfall noise, which also sounds like you're shushing someone. I'm like, this guy's a genius. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny. Yeah. They got like all these techniques. It's great.
So how does how's Nora like it so far?
She loves it. You know, she has a good time. And they're like really focused on it just being fun. They do like a lot of the practice just is like basic athleticism for the kids, like somersaults and cartwheels, and you know, and then probably, you know, out of a 50-minute practice, like maybe 25 minutes of it is wrestling. But like you know, that's for the younger group, like K through 2nd grade. So it's all first-year kids, and you know, they focus a lot on that stuff and just having fun and trying to build these kids into like actually liking the sport and falling in love with the sport. And then as they progress through the program, you know, it gets a little more serious and stuff. But yeah, she likes it so far. So good. Give me 1 sec. I gotta let this dog out. Come here,
Rip. Mason. Well, I saw it was Graham's birthday the other day. So
yesterday.
Did you put like, what was that thing? You guys made like a full like play table for him.
Yeah, the Paw Patrol
Paw Patrol, man.
Yeah, it's Paw Patrol. Yeah. Took everything off of it. He's 2, so he just took everything off of it. Like Mara plays with it more than Graham does right now. But no, he calls them his friends. So get his friends.
The little toys.
They're these little wooden. I mean, they're like 2 inches tall, and they're the little pups. Rebel and all those. And so he'll grab them and he'll put them on his high chair and
Nice.
eat with them, and it's funny.
Well, that's cool. I just saw I think it was Natalie's story or something, but
oh yeah, he got in the toilet yesterday. Yeah, he's an animal. He's not like Mara.
Mara's older, right?
Yeah, she's 8, and she was. I mean, so my mom and dad got him a table with 2 chairs. We'd put Mara in it, and she would sit there and eat and color or whatever.
Dude, it's boys and girls,
Graham,
man. Like
Graham, that little son of a gun, he's on his knees, like on top of the table, trying to climb on it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But the son of a gun is he's a wrecking ball, man.
He looks like a tank.
I'm about to experience that because Nora's 6, and my son James just turned 10 months. He'll be 10 months on the 26th, so he just started crawling. So we're about to experience I mean, my daughter's, she's like having another adult in the house. I'm like, can you help with this, that? She's like, I already did it. Don't worry about it.
It is really nice that age. I mean, it's hard, but it's also nice that age.
She's a good girl. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. Well, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, Mike, what's going on in New Jersey with these drones, dude? Like,
I don't know, but like they're like, we hear them, we see them. They're like in
seriously?
Morris County was like the first county. That's like that's where we live. It's wild.
What are they saying?
They don't know. The latest theory I heard. I mean, you've heard every theory from the senator that said there was an Iranian warship off the. Like, how do you're a United States senator and you just like casually say that, but it's not accurate? Like, that's a crazy move, man.
They're gaslighting us, dude.
Yeah, you can't just float Iranian warship off the coast and then actually wasn't true. I heard that, but the latest one I heard was that there is a misplaced nuclear warhead or some sort of nuclear asset that they are looking for, so they're flying it to look for like radioactive signatures. I don't know.
I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with the F-18 guy.
What did he think it was?
They don't know, but he said he doesn't think it's that nuclear thing, but because the way the drone, I don't know, it's too nerdy for me, which is saying something, I guess. But
there's only one logical explanation, and that's aliens. That's all.
Well, Joe Rogan's all into that, so you listen to him talk, and it could be aliens.
So I'm not like all into it, but it is just funny to see the hysteria. But like what I've seen is like people will get close to them or like you video them and they just like disappear. Like what they got to go somewhere and charge up. They're not like they don't.
That's why
we can't fly a drone and follow them back.
That's what on the podcast they were talking about. They say that it came from the ocean, but this is not the first time that drones have been spotted over the U.S.
Interesting.
It's happened a handful of times, and he gives dates, and I'm not gonna pretend like I remember the dates, but what he was saying was they came from the ocean or towards the ocean, and they came back, so they have to take off and land from somewhere. Where is that? I don't know.
It's crazy.
But we would also know it would be all over the news. I mean, think about all of those ships that were like off the coast of Miami, and the Russian jets that fly the Bears or whatever that fly out near Alaska. You hear
the Aleutian Islands or whatever. Yeah.
Now,
which isn't. I mean, it happens frequently, more frequently than people think.
I think it's.
now I don't want to
I
go.
think there's some sort of internal thing because like no one seems like too like fussed about it. Like yeah, well, yes,
Right, exactly.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
It's very weird.
It's weird, but like, and I don't want to go down some conspiracy rabbit hole here, but like,
No, let's turn this into a conspiracy podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, we can't get canceled anymore, but he'll be canceled real quick.
No, okay. So here's the thing: like, if I'm a fugitive, or if the government, if the Big Brother really wanted to figure out where I was, or I couldn't pick up a cell phone or log into my email, like I'd be done. We got satellites everywhere tracking everything. You can't just like lock it in and like follow it for
Right.
a couple hours or
no. Then you would actually know where it's coming from.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's some weird stuff, but you've like physically seen them, like they are there.
Totally. I've heard them.
Weird.
We were putting Nora to bed on Tuesday night, and we were like, "That's a drone." Like,
and they're always at night. Like, why is it always at night?
I wonder if they're also in the daytime, but they're harder to see because it's cloudy and like they're hot, like decently high or whatever. So like high at like altitude wise.
And it's louder during the day anyways. Cars.
Exactly. Yeah. There's more like traffic and noise and
ambient
stuff.
Noise.
All righty. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it on.
I'll send any updates out to the alumni network.
Just keep us posted in the chat.
Maybe I'll start a weekly blog of drones.
There you go.
Oh, what are y'all's holiday plans? You guys going anywhere? Do anything crazy of traditions or anything you guys do?
Yeah. We go to my grandparents' house on Christmas Eve. And then we do Christmas here, and then we'll go to my parents' house, and then back to my grandparents' house on Christmas Day for like Christmas dinner and stuff. So it's good.
Awesome. You're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, we literally live on the same road. What's that?
I said everyone's local for you, though, right?
I live 5 to 6 minutes from my parents and like
That's awesome.
8 minutes from my grandparents.
How are your parents? Good?
Good. Yeah, everybody's good.
Is your dad still working, or is he retired? Or?
Oh yeah, he'll always work. I work for my dad right now, so he's gonna work till it's more benefit for his retirement's sake. It's more beneficial for him to stay working.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hello.
What about your family? All good?
They're good. Yeah. So we're gonna host. We host now every year, and we alternate whose side of the family comes and stays. So last year was Megan's family. This year it's my family. So it would be my mom and dad and my sister and her husband. And I don't know if my sister's stepdaughter is coming. So sometimes she comes. She's a nurse. So sometimes she comes and sometimes she doesn't. We'll have definitely at least 4 extras plus us 4. A couple dogs running around, ours and my parents and my sisters. So it'll be good. I think they come on. Everyone gets here Monday. So.
Good. Hey, what about you, buddy?
Well, we don't really have like a tradition similar to you, Mike. Like we'll kind of alternate, families.
Yeah.
Between Danielle and my parents. But it's kind of funny. Like my folks and her folks are like, they're like good buddies. So
cool.
Like they'll just go hang out with one another.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's not weird if we do it all together. Like we've done it like a joint. Yeah. But this year her folks are like in Australia or something for Christmas. So we're just staying local, and her sister's coming down from New York City. So it's just the 4 of us plus
Nice.
Danielle's sister. So it'll be pretty low key.
Perfect.
So, yeah. Your kids pumped? Like they know what's going on.
Pumped.
I know Mara knows what's going on. Nora definitely does too.
For
I'm sure. Yeah.
Mason,
Well,
you guys have, or I guess both of you, because all the kids are old enough. Do you guys have a Buddy the Elf?
Yeah.
We have Daisy, but yes.
Yeah, ours is named Marty. I don't know why, but
like an elf on the shelf thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Elf on the shelf. Yeah.
What do you guys do? What's the weirdest? What's like the funniest thing?
You guys, unless you like doing it, which I don't.
It's all Natalie, dude. That's all Natalie, right?
So she goes on Etsy and buys a box that tells you what to do every single day. So it literally comes with a box and a note with what to do every single day. Every day.
That person on Etsy is a genius.
Oh my God. I don't know what she I don't know what she charges. Probably $40 or $50. But
that's unbelievable.
But I mean, some of them are like 2 nights ago was she sent a flamingo raft. I don't know if we lost Peyton.
Oh, we lost Peyton.
But she sent a flamingo raft that was like elf sized.
Yeah.
So you put the elf in, it says like a beach for the day. And so you put the thing in and it tells you to fill up a bowl of water or put it in the sink or whatever. Yeah. So it does everything for you. I don't even have to think. I just go upstairs, open up the box, put it out.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
What was my question he was going to ask?
How is it just after 2 years of wrestling in New Jersey, your daughter is better than you have ever were?
Oh man.
Yeah, funny.
That's awesome.
Well, he's obviously asking for personal reasons about the hair treatment.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, I've heard so much shit about it. Like people were talking about it, like implants, and I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. You can do hair implants?
Yeah, dude.
Apparently.
So wait, Mike, you do the Elf on the Shelf thing too?
Oh yeah. Well, this is the first year, but yeah. Which, like, I'd like to meet the creator of that, and we needed one more thing we got to do every day, man. Like,
hey, you need to just make one because copy her. That's what I'm.
What's up, dude?
That's what I'm thinking about.
What do you mean? Just create your own thing?
Why have I not done this? Yeah.
Elf on the Shelf. You could do.
So it's so easy to make a ton of money on that. I was seeing if Dustin's coming to my same tournament, but he's not.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start asking like academy stuff. We'll talk about academy stuff now, Navy stuff. 30 minutes into this thing, which is kind of weird. It's kind of a little awkward for me because like we're friends and like we know each other, but the point of this is like engagement and just keeping everybody involved and hopefully people like watch this stuff and
have you gotten good feedback?
Yeah, actually more positive than I thought it would be.
That's awesome.
Not that I thought people would be like, oh yeah, you suck at this, but like no, people actually like hit me up like, hey, what are you doing this week for this, or what are you talking about this week? And but I'm trying to figure out ways to keep it fresh, and every end of the month I send out a newsletter, and part of it was always like, hey, what are the alumni up to nowadays? And once I started the podcast thing, I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity for me to like talk to a lot of people that I've not lost touch with, but we don't see each other, we don't talk to each other every day, but you guys had a huge influence on me and influence on the legacy and culture of the program, at least while I was there. So selfishly, it's fun for me because I get to talk to people that I haven't talked to in a while. And two, I think it's a good opportunity for guys like, in your class range that are on the email list to just say, hey, it's Mason. He's let's see what's going on in his life. What's going on with Mike, that type of stuff. But overall it's been positive and it's been really fun for me. I don't feel like I'm working every day. I feel like I'm going in and hanging out with my friends and working out and doing stuff like this. Is just another opportunity to talk to my best friends. So
yeah, well, I think that. I know it's a struggle because we all talk about some dumb shit from time to time. But I think people like to hear that kind of stuff too, that we were just bullshitting about at the beginning,
Totally, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe not
It's
the
more,
dumb
it's
shit,
more
but-
natural. It's more
Yeah.
authentic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad we opened up with all the drones and holiday stuff. But, how did Mike, like, were you a recruited dude out of, like, you're from New
No.
Jersey, right?
No, I'm from outside of Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're from Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't recruited. I got in. I got like some letters and stuff from a couple other schools, and I did a camp at Penn State. But that was back before Kale was there. It was Coach Sunderland and Troy Hughes were the head coach and the assistant coaches. So I got recruited there. But I got into Navy, and then my coach hit up Brian Antonelli. I was like, "Hey, this guy's coming. He's Pennsylvania State Place winner," and they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah." That's cool. So like, yeah, and then I was similar to you. I just, I guess technically a walk on. I mean, they knew I was coming. I dropped off all my stuff before Plebe Summer, but no, I didn't get recruited.
Yeah. But how did you find out? Like, do you have family that went there, or like, how did you get in? Like, what was your?
Yeah, so we did. I think I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Our team did my high school, like middle school and high school team used to go to like one wrestling camp every summer. We would like raise money doing like car washes and like selling candy bars and stuff, and then go to a wrestling camp in the summer. And one year we did Navy, and it was one of the Navy summer camps that you end up working when you're there. But we did the Navy camp, and I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like into it, and then I decided, over the next 4 years, that's what I wanted to do, and did the application process, and was lucky enough to make it in. And then, like I said, contacted Coach Antonelli, and had us, they told me to drop my stuff off before plebe summer, and then that was it.
Yeah. Mason, you were recruited by Amperd, right? Kinda.
I mean, yes, I was. So I took second to Mike Evans at Peace to the East.
Oh yeah.
And it might have been before that though. I did the summer seminar thing. I wasn't really recruited then. But my dad actually sent, he had me do the questionnaire or whatever. And we start at Beast of the East. I saw Tom Tanis and
yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so Tom had a big influence on me initially going there. Him and then Antbird picked it up whenever. Now Tom was there my first year, but
he left the year I got. So you're a sophomore. No, you were a junior my freshman year. I think he left the year I got there.
Yeah. I think he was.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. But so yeah, Tom did most of I talked to Tom the most, and then like right towards the admissions process, I talked to Ambert all the time. Like they didn't have to chip me because I was from West Virginia, so that helps.
Yeah.
I had good grades and all the other stuff. I was like I did student government and all the dumb shit in high school that we all sometimes do. That I did.
You were JRTC, weren't you?
No, I didn't do that.
Commander, baby. That's 30 you, Peyton.
No. I was junior class president. I did it for one reason. It was so we could have a good prom.
Nice.
No. So I talked to Antbird during the admission stuff. Like when I was going, and found out I got in from him. Like the same day that I got the letter. So he probably timed that about right. And then I went to a visit. I want to say we wrestled Rutgers. We wrestled in the old field or the
Halsey?
In Halsey when it was not a football field.
Right.
Dude, you should see it now.
Rutgers.
Yeah, I heard it's great.
Did they change it since I left?
Well, okay. I don't want to cut you. I'll tell you when you're done with your
okay.
story.
Yeah, so I watched did a match there with them on my visit. Committed to there shortly thereafter, and then told my parents after that I committed.
Were you looking anywhere else, or like did you apply anywhere else?
Didn't apply anywhere else.
Seriously? Did you,
Yeah,
Mike?
no.
What's
Mike,
that?
did you apply anywhere else? Did you like look at other schools?
Yeah, so I got like I was getting recruited at Penn State, but I also applied to do the ROTC scholarship at Penn State. So I actually had that. So I actually had like the full ride to Penn State for ROTC, and then the Naval Academy one, like sitting side by side and being like, I have to choose one of these. Yeah.
That's tough.
So like, yeah, either way, I was going the military route because I didn't want to end up with any debt after I was done. Like I was like, somehow I was like a aware enough high school kid to be like, this is a good opportunity not to end up with like, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. Now I'm like, oh, they just forgive that anyway. I should have just taken on the debt. I'm kidding, sort of. Right? You just get that wiped out, just despite the the contract
Yeah.
But yeah, so those were like my two like main schools, and I had got like contacted by the coach at Princeton. I don't think I started the application process. I don't think I had a shot to get in there, honestly. And then I got recruited at like Merchant Marine Academy and University
Nice.
on D3. So those are like the five that I had going. But
Dude, Merchant Marine.
What's that?
Merchant Marine. My brother went there, and
did he wrestle?
I didn't. He did for like 2 years.
Was Tim Alger the coach then?
I don't know. Probably.
He was good. He was really good coach.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like that would have been. I didn't know it existed until my brother went there. But like,
right,
those dudes, like, they do all right when they.
They don't. They do better than all right. They make bank.
They make good money. Yeah, you have a job right out of school, making good money, and
yeah. My buddy, my good friend in the PAT, he went to the Merchant Marine Academy. But the crazy thing is, you can keep that certification or whatever.
Totally.
Like through, be a pilot for however long, and he kept his thing going. It's insane. Awesome. It's a good deal too. But no, to answer your question, Peyton, I didn't apply anywhere. I got a bunch of stuff in the mail. Cornell did a really good job of sending me stuff. I was never going to go there. Virginia Tech, I had a visit planned to Virginia Tech. I hurt my ankle in football, and they read it somewhere in the paper, I guess, and pulled my visit, like didn't tell me. And I it was that week, and I hadn't heard anything, like any plans or anything. And I called them, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we already filled that weight. Okay. Wasn't going there anyways. I would never go to Virginia Tech.
Not now.
Not as a Mountaineer fan, right?
Yeah, not as a Mountaineer. Right. Exactly. I'm a Mountaineer fan, so that ain't happening. I was gonna go for a visit.
Right.
Buffalo recruited me pretty hard. I just had to tell them no. So I didn't visit anywhere else. My two options: I play football at West Virginia, or wrestle at Navy. Those are my two real options, and I felt like with my stature, I was probably better suited wrestling.
I'm glad you chose.
What you did. No, I wouldn't have changed it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Now, what would you? Okay, so yeah, sorry, backing up a little bit. Halsey, not Michelson. What's the other gym across from West B?
MacD.
MacD's got renovation going on, so
it's not done yet.
Right? No, yeah, it'll never be done. They moved boxing.
My office was in there, and they moved me out of there to put me in, and they put me in the library as the PE guy.
Oh, right, because you were stationed there for a little bit.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's one thing I wish I would have got to do was. I guess I would have had to stick around longer than 5 years. Was be stationed at the academy.
It would have been sick. That would have been sick. But yeah, they moved boxing into Dahlgren.
Mm-hmm.
Gymnastics is now in Halsey. So Halsey is
that's right.
half, I don't know, a quarter of a normal turf field, and then like all of the gymnast setup is in Halsey. and then back by where like the I don't know, the rock climbing wall, like they've got another MACD gym essentially.
Oh wow,
that's right. I forgot they did that.
Yeah, so it looks cool, but it's just wild. That's kind of like it's where you just, I don't know, dump all your stuff that you need to hide, or I don't know. Like that's the
So I have a funny story about that rock wall. So it's second semester, senior year, first year, right? I take rock climbing as my PE class. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Like, I'm kind of interested in it. I'm like, this would be a cool skill to have.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy and fun. They closed the rock wall for renovations. and it's supposed to be taught by Cliff. Cliff
taught it.
Coach Woolfolk, right? Who's now retired, right? So they turn it into what they call rock fit. So they turn it into a CrossFit class. I'm already doing 2 practices a day. I'm cutting weight. Like, I don't need another like workout class in the middle of the day. So like now I go to like our noon practice, and then like I shower, and then I go to quote unquote rock fit, and then do that, and then go back to practice. I'm like, this was the worst deal ever. I should have took sailing. Like this is
dude. They got like there's they've got pickleball now. I mean, kayaking was probably there when you were there.
I think I tried to do that and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, they only have certain, because it's a 2-period class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. I had to like fit. Yeah, maybe it didn't fit my schedule or something.
But yeah, Cliff's still around. Cliff
has the best. Cliff is the man, but he has the best deal right now. Is he? He didn't do strength and conditioning anymore, right? He was.
I don't know. He comes in and works out with our guys.
Just wrestling, I think.
I don't know,
wrestling, like baseball or something.
He'll come over from Ricketts. We don't go to Ricketts anymore because we've got the suite set up in Lejeune now. So
right.
He walked
he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't do football, is what I meant to say. He does strength and conditioning, but not for football anymore. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So wrestling's what he likes, anyways.
But I don't think that's part of his job description. I think he just comes over.
Oh, really? He just likes to be around it?
Yeah, I'm serious. I think he likes the dudes, you know, and
awesome.
But yeah, he's got a good deal. And then Mace, well, this is new, but he teaches combatives too. And I'm gonna help out with that next semester. So I'm jumping into the PE game. So I'll get to work. I'm in like all my classes are with Cliff, so that'll be cool.
That's awesome.
What do you guys remember? What was y'all's like best academy experience? I'll start with you, Mike. Like, it doesn't even have to be about wrestling, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but trying to get through these questions I wrote down. What do you remember as your best like moment or period of time? Or
I mean, wrestling was awesome, right? Like those are the wrestling team. Like we have that giant group text, which is like so fun, and it keeps like every month someone's like, "Can you add this guy to it?" It's like there's like 25 guys in it now. It's hilarious. Yeah. So the wrestling team is a ton of memories, and then this is kind of like a I don't know, like people will laugh at this probably, but my after my plebe year, my summer training was on a destroyer from San Diego to Hawaii. So like we spent like 3 weeks in San Diego, and then like they were starting a deployment, and then we took like 4 or 5 days to get to Hawaii, and then like the mids got off, and then they just like flew us back to like Conus, and so it was like pretty sweet. Like we got to we did the San Diego stuff, so like you're off at the end of every day. We were like hanging out in San Diego, and then took the destroyer to Hawaii, which was like actually cool to be like on board. There was like huge seas when we were out there, like breaking over the bow of this 500-foot ship. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like we should not be out here. And we did that. And then we got there, and one of the guys who was a water polo player, who was my class, his brother was a SEAL. I think there's 3 brothers. They're all SEALs. And he was stationed in Hawaii. So like we had like somewhere to go for the couple of days we were there, and like hung out, and then they just flew us back. And then he was like, "Where are you going back?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going like back to Pittsburgh. I have like my like block leave." And he's like, "Oh, I have my block leave too." And he's like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Well, the first night I get there is a Blink-182 concert like in Pittsburgh." He's like, "Oh, I'll do that." And so he just flew back with me and went to this concert with me, and then like caught another flight back to forget where he was from originally. But so like him and I just went to this Blink-182 concert with like all my high school buddies, and like that was like a cool. And then like stuff like that just continues to happen. Like it's a small community. And it's the same way. Like it continues to be small. Like the older you get, like there's a guy who works 2 rows over from me who is roommates with Christensen. He's an EOD guy, and so like he's now the blue and gold officer out of our area in New Jersey. So who's the guy who just committed out of St. Peter's, Peyton? I texted him.
Yeah, it was
Conrad
Caden. Yeah, Ricciardi.
Yeah, so like he's his blue and gold officer. So like that's when I texted you. That's how I knew he committed, because Jarrett sits 2 rows over from me. He's like, yo, I just got this guy. He's in. Like we just got all the stuff lined up. Like he just committed. So like the small world is really cool to like it gets smaller and smaller. You run into people all the time. So
yeah, that's cool. And Ricciardi's a stud too. He's like top 5 guy.
And like he's from, I think, where like out by where Wask is from. Like he's not from Jersey City. That's like where, because he goes to a Catholic school. So he's from like Wask's area, which is like out by me. Who also, speaking of, we just mentioned him, Tom Tanis is from. So I was texting him like a month ago.
I need to text Tom.
Yeah.
Is he still in Florida?
I want to say South Carolina. Running a wrestling club and a fitness club. And so he's like from this area. So he was like, where do you live now? And I told him my town. He's like, Route 23, man. He's like, I was from 15 minutes from there. So it's a small world. It's a small community. So it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild. What about you, Mace?
Oh man, I don't know. There's a lot. I liked, so my freshman year, is that the year that Glenn beat Matt Kyler?
Freshman year for you would have been what, 9?
2008,
9?
No, 2009, 10. 2010.
9,
I think we wrestled Army at home. I didn't wrestle in that one, but we won. We beat, I don't know, we shouldn't have won that year, but Batman always
finds a way.
Always found a way.
14 years.
And we beat Army. That was like one of the top moments of the academy for sure. But I don't know, man. There are so many with wrestling, because that group, and I can only speak for my group, but that whole team was like super tight, like from every class. I mean, like senior to freshman. Maybe not my freshman year, but like every other year, it was like super tight with everybody.
Yeah.
Things we won't talk about, but yeah, man, like just being the team part of the academy for me was it. What made the whole experience really the outside of wrestling memories.
Yeah, that's actually something. I don't remember it as much from your class, Mike, and I know it to be true. With you, Dustin, Woody, all those guys. Like you guys were tight.
Yeah, I talk to Woody almost every day.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are tight. Your whole class. I don't know. I was a freshman, like.
It's different. You can't do as much, even as, I mean,
that's true.
You just aren't able to do everything because you're always got somebody looking over you.
Right. I think I just meant like I wasn't aware because I was so concerned about plebe stuff.
Yeah.
But really, Mason's class, and then 14 with like Borgia, Johnny, Roach, like those dudes, the Johnsons, like like exactly what Mason is saying is just like the cohesiveness.
What a class! Really, 14, like what a bunch of studs those guys are. Like,
I know, right?
Like all those guys you just named are all Navy SEALs or EOD.
They make us all look bad.
Yeah, man.
I think they had 9.
Yeah,
I couldn't list them all.
Well, because Krulik went a weird route.
Yeah, he went like pilot,
Swo.
Yeah,
and now doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, yeah, I think he's out now. He's out now.
Is he out?
Tough group.
Yeah. Well, now he's now he's doing other cool stuff.
Even Wags was that class.
Yeah, tough. Keith Eckert, right?
Keith Eckert does all those. Oh, I would never do.
Walter Pope was that class, or was he your class, Peyton?
Oh no, Walter was 14. Yeah, Poe was 14. Who was the other dude? Same like weight. I don't know. I'll remember it as soon as we stop the call. But yeah, I think they had like 9 guys go SEALs. But I mean, Mason, your class was so awesome too. You know, with Bob, Oscar, obviously, Miller.
Yeah, well, both Whites. Then Zach White finished out.
Yeah.
And Bassage.
Yeah.
Jake Chalice, Matt Jackson.
Snake.
Yeah, we had a good class. But see, like it was easy for me to get in with the guy Mike's class because I knew Dustin growing up.
That's right.
So that like fed, and then I did my visit was with Mike, and I don't know if you remember that, Mike, but I do.
I actually, this is terrible. I don't remember it.
So my visit was with Mike. No, I didn't stay with you or any of that stuff because I had to go back. But my visit, you were my whatever. I was your drag or whatever they call it.
Right.
And then I knew Dustin we're both from West Virginia, and I knew him since I was little. So that was my end with that class. So those two classes were real tight. And then when they left, it was 14, and those dudes we just talked about them. But I mean, like I said, I think that whole time when I was there, outside of my plebe year, like I said, was super tight from top to bottom. I mean, Peyton, you were a class of 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was class of 16 then? Well,
16 would have been, I'm pretty sure Keck was the captain, 16.
Okay. See, I was putting him in your class.
No. Yeah, John was 16. Sal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But were they your plebes then? Like as a senior, they would have been your plebes?
Yeah.
Sal, Keck. That was kind of but those guys, a lot of those guys are still doing good. I'm blanking on a bunch of it.
Well, see, I couldn't. I can't put my finger on the plebes. And now, if I looked at it, I would be like, oh yeah, that's right. But that whole group, man,
Dane Lemon is a SEAL now.
Mike, but the class above you was Bryce and Robbie and that group. So I was tight with them too.
Yeah.
But mostly because we wrestled every day.
Right, exactly.
I tell the story about Bryce taking me through that back door. I mean, probably 5 times. Probably told it 5 times already this year.
Well, in the after a certain date in the year, Oscar and I weren't allowed to practice with each other anymore because one of us would get hurt. So like after like February whatever 20th, it was like, all right, you guys got to have other partners. You guys can't be partners anymore. So.
That was our senior year. Oscar and I couldn't wrestle each other because I wrestled him and tore his ACL.
So that means Oscar is the so he's
exactly
that A.
Exactly.
Oscar's just injury prone. He's just always broken.
Is he hurt now?
I wouldn't doubt it. I think he modifies his training. Like he's not wrestling anymore, obviously, but
he doesn't wrestle at all, really.
I mean, he comes in every once in a while and he'll go, but like he doesn't. He
not
doesn't,
training.
Well, also if he does get hurt, it ruins his other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Dude, but I'm telling you, he's still as shredded, or if not more shredded than he was 10 years ago.
I have never met someone whose body responds to what the person wants it to do so well. Like the year he was like, oh, I'm going to wrestle 184. He came in 3 days later and he had 20 pounds of muscle on him. I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, I'm going 184. Like, you gained 20 pounds of muscle in 3 days because you decided that his body just responds so well. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And had a good year.
You did have a good year.
Heel.
Wait, Mason, you did the same thing. You went from 65 to 84.
Well, I was going to go to 97. I went to the OTC, and the weights were whatever they were back then. It was 210 and a half or 211 and a half. I don't remember what it was, 212 and a half. And so I chugged a bunch of water because I was like, oh, I'm not cutting weight. I'm just going to wrestle the weight up. So it was so I wrestled like Fernandez from Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
I was an All-American. I wrestled guy from Pitt, Wilps maybe. And I wrestled them okay. Like I took one of them down. I got tech falled to both of them. It was freestyle, but took one of them down. I was like, well, if I can hang with these guys now, out of shape, fat, and not wanting to do Pikes Peak, then I can go 97. And Coach Burnett was like, whatever you want, Mason, you just make your decision. I'm like, all right. But I think you're going to be better lower. Okay. Well, I'm going to go 97, Coach. And I get back, and first week of practice, I'm like 190, and I'm like, all right, I'll go to 84.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did that too. But I cut so much weight. It was not, I was an idiot. I shouldn't have wrestled 65 my junior year. But I did.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, sorry, Dustin just texted me.
What'd he say?
So he just got back to the wrestling room. He must have had a long day.
Yeah, it's late.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't realize you were cutting that much weight, but 84 was. I mean, that was probably your best year, right? Like you had a really good year.
Yeah. I stepped on the scale at nationals, drinking a Gatorade.
Yeah.
And I was in my sweats, and I was drinking a Gatorade. It was glorious.
So
yeah, no,
Go ahead.
I was just my junior year, I just kept getting bigger, and my junior year, I was like I was 205, and I cut to 165, and I was like miserable. I was constantly worried about my weight, and it's dumb. I tell the kids all the time, I'll never tell you to cut weight. I'll tell you what if you're cutting weight is not a couple of pounds. Let's be honest here.
Right.
Like if you're 129 pounds and you don't want to wrestle 126, there's a problem, because you probably should wrestle 126 because you get 2 pounds with, you know what I mean? So
and you can just
they still do that
weigh in and you're good.
Exactly.
They still do the +1 like after Christmas, +2 after
+2 after Christmas is all it is in West Virginia.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep going here because we're an hour into this thing. But what'd you guys do, Mason? I'll start with you because Mike was first last time. Mace, what'd you end up doing once you graduated, and then what was the best part of that? Also,
I went to flight school. Wanted to fly P8, or I wanted to fly the P8. Couldn't really select P8 right out of flight school then. It was maritime, and then you had a chance to go P3 or P8. So I selected that. I was lucky and got that, and then ended up getting P8s, and so went from Pensacola to Corpus to do my advanced stuff, and then winged and went to Jacksonville. Was there from 2015 to 2019. Did 2 deployments. Loved it. Instructor pilot. Loved all that stuff. Deployments to Japan and Italy. So good places. Saw a lot of cool countries. And then went to the Naval Academy my last 4 years in, which was awesome. No regrets there. I mean, everybody says it's ruining your career, and I'm like, well, I want to get out anyways.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't have. I could have stayed in and went and continued being a pilot if I wanted, but got out and moved back home. But what was my favorite part about it? Flying was cool. Like, I would fly right now, but it just takes me away from my family still. So my family's more important than flying. So chose that. And then my favorite part was the academy. I got to go back and see a different side of the academy and kind of do it that way. I always said I wanted to go back. Originally, I was like, well, I'm going to go back and be like a cool company officer because one of mine was good and the other one wasn't. So go back and be a cool company officer. And then when I wore my flight suit every day for 4 or 5, 6 years, whatever it was, I was like, I'm not wearing khakis every day. So got in the PE department and
shorts and a t-shirt.
Shorts and a t-shirt. Yep. But see, then I was the marking O, and then I had to wear my uniform like once a week. But no, it was awesome. And working for Jay, like that was like, and then Carrie coming in, like the whole thing just was like, I couldn't have wrote it better.
Yeah. Yeah. About you, Mike?
Yeah. So I graduated. I had a TAD summer, which was awesome. That was like a nice little break from like going from the academy, and I spent the summer TAD working for Coach Woolfolk and Dooman over on the high ropes course.
Nice.
So it's like you're with like the guys you were with the whole time. It was like me, a couple lax players, a couple football players. So we had a great time that summer. And then I went to TBS in Quantico, and then I got assigned to 3rd Battalion 8th Marines as a logistics officer. I did a set of orders there, deployed once with them. We were sending teams into Africa to do like military to military training,
that's cool.
as well as guard the embassy in Tripoli, which they ended up evacuating. So we kind of prepped for that evacuation, the whole deployment. And it was like sort of bizarre. They had no like issue with the Americans, but it was a couple years after Benghazi, which was also it was like our second embassy over on like the center of the state or center of the nation. But these two militias were fighting each other, and our embassy happened to be like right in the middle of like their line of like demarcation. So as the fighting got closer to each other and they were like lobbing mortars back and forth, like the embassy started to like take like random like stray mortar rounds. So eventually they were like, we gotta like shut this thing down. So I was not there for that. Just to like I'm telling war stories.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, did you set up like an ECC? Like,
no, we were. So I literally sat in like a windowless box in Sicily for 9 months, and like watched stuff on Fleur, and we used that as like our jumping off point. And then there was an amphib out in the Med because it's like Sicily to Tripoli is only like I think like 45 miles. So we used that, and they ended up shutting it down. But anyway, that was cool. Like I actually got to do like some legit stuff, and we were in like 13 different countries. Like the linear distance between the two furthest ones was, I think, like 4,000 miles. So like 1,000 miles further than California to Jersey, it was huge. So I did that. And then my second set of orders, I got orders to the Marine Corps team. So I got to wrestle again. And I never thought I was going to, I thought I was done. And Woody was on the team. He's like, come on, man, like you put your shoes back on. And so I was actually just like still at 3A, and I would go over like during lunch and get a workout in and like wrestle a little bit. And it was awesome. We got to wrestle all over the world and, go to world team trials. And I qualified for the Olympic trials one year. And Robbie helped me do that. He was getting out and knew he wouldn't be able to compete. So we were both at the Paris Grand Prix. And I woke up just like, I don't know what happened, but like deathly ill, like throwing up. Like, I mean, I'm like walking out onto the mat, throwing up in a trash can. So Robbie got to like whatever round, and then I was supposed to wrestle Robbie, and Robbie ended up just forfeiting to me, which gave me my 3rd place finish. So I got the qualification to go to the Rio trials. So Robbie like set a block for me, which was pretty cool. He's like, I'm going to be out, dude. Like I'm not going. So like, you might as well make sure you go and compete. So it's cool. It's like, I got to go compete at the Rio Olympic trials, and, yeah, I mean, what a cool experience. And then I got out, and now I live in New Jersey. I work in New York City, and 2 kids, and we're living the good life out here. It's awesome.
Yeah. Where was the Rio Olympic trials at?
Iowa.
Like Des Moines or?
Yeah, it was in Des Moines, I think. Yeah. Or no, I think it was in Iowa City. Yeah, because my wife flew in Des Moines, and like. That was 2016, I guess.
16. Yeah.
Yeah. So like my wife and I got married in 2013. So like we were like only been married for like 3 years, and she's like, your dad is picking me up in Des Moines, and we have a 2.5-hour drive across a straight flat road in Iowa. What on earth are we going to talk about for 2.5 hours? And it's like, so I think it was Iowa City, and then Des Moines was the closest airport.
And where do you work now again?
So I work for TD Bank.
That's right.
Yeah, so right in Midtown Manhattan, right the building beside Grand Central.
So do you take the train in there, or you
take an express bus right out of our town? There's like a little like shopping center you can park at, and so I just take it right out of there. Some guys drive in, but I would much rather sit there and read a book or sleep and not fight bumper to bumper traffic. Let someone else do it.
Yeah,
it's faster too because there's like an express bus lane that only they can go in. So
does that mean you have to get on a certain bus to get home too? Like you're not hanging out till 9 o'clock at night in the office. Like,
well, yeah, exactly. So like my job is not very, it is not project focused. Like, so I trade bonds. So like when I'm sitting in the seat, like I'm locked in the entire time I'm in the seat. Like there's days where like, if you were in risk or whatever, like someone will go grab you lunch and like, you're focused, but like when your day's done, like you're done, and the Singapore guys come in overnight and take over, and it's their responsibility then. So it's cool. Like it's stressful for the time you're there, but it's nice that you're not like, oh, this project's due in 2 weeks, like I should probably work on it a little bit or whatever. It's just like you're in it.
It's a constant.
Yeah, and like when you're done, you're done. So it's kind of it's good and bad. But yeah, so like I'm 5 o'clock usually. I'm out of there unless there's like like a client dinner or something. So.
And Mace, you're working with your dad at State Farm.
Yep.
Awesome.
Just waiting on somebody to retire.
So how?
Seriously, that's how it works. So somebody, because I don't want to live anywhere else. There's been so many other, like I can interview anywhere across the country.
Right.
It's just I want to be here within about 30 minutes. Yeah. So hang out. I get to coach wrestling, so that I can leave at. A lot of places wouldn't let me just pick up and go at 3 o'clock to go coach wrestling, so that helps me out a lot. So it's good. And it's a good transition. I did Skill Bridge with him, which was nice.
Cool.
Nice. You got him set up with Skill Bridge and State Farm. Their agents are actually need to do that a little bit more. We actually got a Skill Bridge guy that's working for us now.
It's awesome.
It's crazy.
He's working as
my dad as a team member. He just got licensed today. So like
nice.
He emailed my dad out of the blue from the Skillbridge site and said, "Hey, I'm wanting to move to Fair." He's from here, but I'm doing Skillbridge. Are you accepting anybody right now? And my dad asked me, and I was like, might as well help him out. Like, if he works out, it works out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But no, it's good. It was a good gig, good way to transition, and
that's awesome.
Hanging out.
Skillbridge is such a sweet program.
Yeah, it very highly recommend.
Did you get to do it, Mike?
No. Is it part of the Marine Corps or like?
Yeah, well, DOD.
Every service.
Yeah, every service. Yeah, dude. I know I asked you this, but like, how did you get into the TD? Like, how did you know? I knew you told me you wanted to go into the finance stuff, but you had to get your cert. Like, what is it called? The
series.
Yeah, you got to get like all the series, and like Mason probably has like 63 and 56.
Not yet. That's next.
So like Mason will have to do them too. There's different depending on what your job in finance is. Like there's different ones you have to get. But I ended up specifically at this bank because TJ Palachak, who wrestled at Penn, who was our 2012 there, he was like my high school training partner. So he was there already and was like, "Hey, are you still trying to work in finance?" One of these like college hires that did an internship last summer backed out of their offer at like the last minute. So I sent a resume and interviewed for it. He was able to get me an interview. He was junior at that point. So he's like, the best I can do is an interview for you. Like, I get your resume looked at. So I like did that. And then I started, I was like a 28-year-old amongst like a bunch of brand new college kids. So I had no idea what I was doing until.
Yeah, but this was right after AMWT. Like you were.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You left like right as I was getting there, which kind of stinks. Like,
yeah, I think we got to work out like once or twice, and then
Yeah.
I was like leaving. Yeah, that was it. Turned, man, we built that program into like a really like a serious program.
I know
It worked out really well. It's a bummer that they canned it.
Well, they did this year though. They're bringing it back.
Really?
As like, dude, they're starting back at scratch though. So
are they doing it
great.
up there?
Yes, they're bringing it to Annapolis, dude. So Major Antonelli, Jay, and I have been talking to Semper Fit, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
And we convinced them, hey, come to Annapolis. And then they asked both of us to be the coach. And at first I was like, yes. But I realized, I talked to Kerry and he's like, look, I'm going to need you to go to NCAAs, EIWAs. Like, you can't. So the All Armed Forces tournament is the same weekend as EIWAs. So it just didn't work out.
Got it.
But the camp is going to be in Annapolis. Actually, and the dude I was talking to at Semper Fit, was like, hey, what do you guys need, like, equipment-wise? Like, I've got, like, this huge budget for you guys. I'm like, oh, well, I need 10 Suplex training dummies. They're sitting in my garage right now. I gotta figure out a way to get them over to Annapolis. But
that's awesome.
Dude, yeah, so it's coming back. It's starting small to where it's just a 2-week camp and then Armed Forces. But we got to start somewhere.
That's great. That's great they're doing that, but it's like you just like smashed all the momentum the program had.
I know.
And then you're going to do a 2-week camp and you're going to assign this like big budget to it. And one of the things you said was that it was like a waste of money. Like, you're going to assign this budget, you're going to train for 2 weeks, and then these guys are going to go like be on the couch for another 50 weeks of the year and then come back, 50 weeks later for a 2-week camp that you're going to have another budget for. Like, and
expect to like do well against Army where
you just had a guy compete in Tokyo at the Olympics. Like, what? You blew it. Like, it's terrible. So frustrating.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that they're bringing it back.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that.
Do you still talk to Jason?
I do. Yeah, I texted him, and he texted me back like a month later, and I was like, bro, I texted you a month ago. Like, what's the deal? And he goes, oh, I had the flu. And I go, your fingers stopped working? I've heard of that one. He was like, yeah, my bad. It's been a month.
Oh, man. I need to give that guy a call.
He's a great dude. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
It's interesting. He's a coach unlike any other coach I've had. He has his like own very unique style. Mason, this is Jason Lakitas who ran the team.
I couldn't think of his last name. I know it started with an L. I just couldn't think
Jason Lakitas. Would you agree with that, Peyton? He's very different than any coach I've ever had. He's very laid back for some stuff, not laid back for other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
He just would like make you feel bad. Like, he would kind of like guilt you into it. Oh, okay. Like, you just don't want to get better today. You just don't want to get okay. That's
okay, man.
You.
All right, man. Yeah, man. All right, man. Yeah, it's fine, man.
But no, he was very intricate. Like, and I'm sure he did this with you too, Mike. And when I got there, he had like these apps like to track your diet, to track your sleep. How did you feel that day?
Yep.
And that was really the first time I realized that, like, okay, like in your training, like there's peaks and valleys, and like he was so scientifically good at like getting you to roll into a competition at your peak.
Yep.
By tracking the training and what we were doing in the room and how you were sleeping, and I had never done that. Like Mike said, he was just like different.
Very, very different. That's called periodization, and he's like in USA Wrestling, he's one of like the leading minds on that. Like, they actually had him come in for that camp for Tokyo and help design the training plan for it. I think it was Tokyo. It might have been Rio. Anyway, yeah, he's really good at that stuff. When you got there, did he like measure like try to touch your hands behind your back? Okay, you're 4 inches away. Like, bend it. Like, he would like measure your body and like put it all into. Like, he was wild. Yeah, he's super interesting.
He does jiu-jitsu now.
So he told me the story of him doing jiu-jitsu, and he's like, I'm so out of shape. And he's like, I do one go at this guy. We start on our feet. He's like, I kill this guy on our feet. I take him down in 1 second. Like I take him down hard. He's like, so then the second go, I'm so tired. I think I'm going to die. This guy's so afraid to stand on his feet with me. He's doing like the scoot around on your butt thing. And so he's scooting towards me and I'm just backing up in a circle because I'm so tired I'm going to die. And he won't stand up. And for the entire go, he just scooted after me while I backed up in a circle. Cracking me up.
Yep. Well, yeah, he's one of a kind. I need to call him.
Yeah,
all right, we're hour and 17 into this thing.
We're bad at this. We're good at this.
We're good. I don't know.
One of the two.
Yeah. It's like Joe Rogan long form podcast.
We'll kind of wrap it up here, but did you guys get a Navy Wrestling Club Christmas card?
Yes.
I did.
Sick.
Yes. They're actually really cool that they're like actual printed cards with the N Star and wrestling and like.
Yeah, it's signed by Barry.
You got a Barry one? All right.
Yeah.
Keep that signature.
Yeah, seriously. Even my dad got one. He was all fired up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they came to visit last week, and he's like, "Did you get a card?" I'm like, "I got a card."
Yeah, good.
That's cool.
That was a real pain to do.
Writing them all out.
I'd imagine.
Most of it was like I wrote everything, and then I just like handed it to people to sign. I was like,
that's all right.
Did like 400 of them.
It was a classy touch. It was
for sure.
It was a good look.
I'm just glad you got them.
It's on the fridge.
Are you guys tracking Lehigh Harvard January 17th, the double header? We're trying to do another social like Blue and Gold. Mason, you ditched us last time. You ghosted us last time, so you're obligated to come.
I'm going to pull up the old schedule here. I'm off. I'm off one of those weekends in January. I just don't think it's that one. Oh wait, the 17th.
It's a Friday. 17th is a Friday.
Yeah, I'm off that weekend.
Are you going to do the social on the Friday or the Saturday?
It's going to be Friday afternoon before Lehigh. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's tough. You got to work, so.
Maybe I'll take the day off.
Take it off.
Pull the kids out of school.
Dude, take it off.
Wrestling's always a good reason to miss school.
I'm hoping for a decent turnout. You missed Blue and Gold too, but
yeah.
It was fun. We had like this private room in Fed House, and it was very intimate, and we killed it. Like there was like probably 100 people in this this room. Dude, like the size of my kitchen, like 100 people.
That's cool.
Yeah, General Sattler was telling stories. Like
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then Blue and Gold was good. So I'm hoping we have a decent turnout. I think it's a little harder this time because Blue and Gold's easier because parents are in town watching their kids.
Right.
But we'll see. If you guys can make it, that'd be sick. But we're doing the same playbook. We're going to Fed House. We got the room rented out, and then Lehigh that evening, and then Saturday we got Harvard.
Is it Saturday day?
No, I think it's like an evening duel too, which kind of stinks. Like it's like late afternoon.
Well, that's good and bad. I was just thinking, well, maybe I'll bring some of my guys up to it, but
yeah. Well, if you're not,
then I don't want to have. Then I don't want to have to be responsible for them. After the happy hour.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, last thing I'll bring up, and I really wish Dustin was on this with us because he's the one that I'm hoping will spearhead it. But we're trying to do a golf social in the spring, like around the banquet time.
Yeah,
would that be something you guys would try to get involved with?
Yeah, absolutely. I play 3 times a year, but yeah, I'll play.
That's 3 more than me, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, I think we just got to nail down a banquet date, but to me that makes sense too because again, families are in town. Could be a decent fundraising opportunity
for sure.
Both you guys.
The only thing I would say is to put it. Look at the lacrosse schedule and don't put it during one of those games, big games, because hotels and everything will be crazy.
Mhm.
You won't be able to get them.
It's a good call.
That would be the only thing that I would say. But yeah, of course.
No, that's a good point.
Hell, I would be there at most of the home matches if I didn't have other obligations at the moment.
Well, you got nothing
And for the
on
next
January
10,
17th.
15 years. I know. Well, I just got to go up. I'm going to go upstairs until now. I don't schedule anything that weekend 'cause
Good.
we got plans.
You know, that
Good.
actually might work out perfect to take that Friday off of work, because the Thursday we have the Kinnelon Wrestling Parents Social Night at the steakhouse in town. So I just
Easy
cruise right
peasy.
into the weekend.
Yeah. There you go. See? We plan this for you.
Perfect.
Well, both of you guys are both very active and engaged with the club, which I greatly appreciate. And as a guy that, this is my first, obviously you guys know this, but just getting here and on board with the team. It's been fun, like seeing y'all's names pop up. I get emails every time y'all donate and stay engaged with stuff. So I appreciate everything you guys have done for us. And I hope hopefully continue to keep you guys involved and engaged, and we'll see you in January. We'll
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap this thing up.
No, you're
good.
good, man. It's easy. It's easy to give back. I mean, look what it's done, right? I mean, this whole thing is because of Navy wrestling, so it's easy.
For sure.
And well, I got nothing else for you. I hope you guys thanks for giving up an hour and a half of your night. And
Yeah, this is fun. Sorry we kept
Peyton, I
going
can't
off
believe
your,
you kept me
going
this
off your
long.
schedule.
Hey, well, Mason, I didn't make you, but I do appreciate you.
Well, I didn't even give you enough time to respond to my I can't make it.
Yeah, you should have let that hang.
I
for a minute.
know. I didn't want to to jump off the deep end or something.
I did
Drive
feel
off
bad
the
at this
Bay
last
Bridge.
one, man. Was the last
I
one
know.
on Monday too?
Dude, no, I don't know. I don't remember, but it was hilarious. Like, I'm just chatting it. I'm yucking it up with Colton, and like 15 minutes into it, I'm like, I don't think Mike's coming. Like, and then I cut that part out, but I sent you this.
You said it to me. That was funny. You know what? I think when you called me, I think I even like in a half sleeping state, like reached over and turned it off. Like not only did I sleep through it, like I think I might have actually been like not realizing what it was, and just like no, click. Pretty rude.
Well, it's been fun. We'll do it again soon, and Merry Christmas to you guys both. Send my love to your families, and we'll talk soon.
All right, guys.
Same to you guys.
This was
See ya.
fun.
Later.